Hey guys, Jeremy here. We're about to go play some cards, but before we do, we've got to get ready. So first hand that I play, I have 5-6 of spades under the gun. It's a little wider than I normally open, but we've just sat down, it's a new table. I opened a 20, the middle position, min raises to 40. Considering the price we're getting, I think pretty easy call. So the flop comes 6, king, 8 with 2 clubs. So we check, and the middle position checks back. I'm kind of wondering, what does he have here? Does he have queens, jacks, 10, something like that, that he's worried about the king? The turn is a 5 of clubs, so we make 2 pair, but it also completes the front door flush. I check it, he bets 45. I think we have a solid bluff catcher here, or we beat basically queens, jacks, we even beat aces, ace, king, a lot of those kinds of things that he might 3-bet with. So we make the call, and the river comes at 3 of hearts. We check, he checks back, and sure enough, he turns over pocket jacks. So we scoop this one. So the next interesting hand, I have ace, 8 of spades in the small blind. Cutoff raises to 15, button calls. I'd probably 3-bet or fold mostly, but considering the raise was quite small and I really want to keep the button in the pot, I just call. Big blind calls as well. So the flop comes down jack of spades, 8 of diamonds, 4 of hearts. So we make middle pair with backdoor flush draw. At this point, I'm quite happy to check and call a bet and see what develops on the turn. And if the turn brings a spade, I'd be considering a check raise on the turn. So I check, the button bets 35, I call, and the original raiser folds. The turn does bring 4 of spades. Unfortunately, after I check, he checks back. The river comes a 10 of diamonds. So it doesn't really change much. We probably have a hand that if he bets, we're probably folding, and if he checks back, we might have the best hand here. So I check and he checks back and he shows ace queen. So we do end up having the best hand, and we scoop this one as well. So this next hand is probably the most interesting hand of the session. There's a couple of people getting out of line, but nothing really dynamic or interesting. It's just a standard session. So in this hand, there's a few things going on. Someone's just come back from a cigarette break, so there's an extra blind posted. So there's more money in the pot before the action gets to us. There's 2 limpers, middle position raises to 25, cutoff calls, small blind calls, and I'm in the big blind, jack 8 of diamonds. I'm getting an amazing price here. I complete, and 1 limper calls. The flop is a favourable one. The flop is 5-6 queen of diamonds. So we flop a flush, the pot's $132 at this point. So we're quite happy with this hand. Because we're in the big blind, we're out of position, we're just happy to check here and see what develops. In middle position, who wasn't the original raiser, he was one of the limp callers. He donks for 75 into 132. Usually when someone donks out like this, they're saying, I've hit the flop, but I don't have a huge hand and I kind of want to see where I'm at. Then it folds around to me, and we happily make the call here. The turn brings a 2 of clubs, so nothing really changes, just like absolute brick city. We're still pretty comfortable with our hand and trying to work out how can we extract maximum value here from this opponent. He donked on the flop, so he somewhat likes his hand. Maybe he has like a 5-6, like a 2 pair or a top pair, marginal kicker, something like that. Or he could even have like some weird like jacks or 10s kind of hand. We check, and unfortunately he checks back here. The river brings a king of clubs, so if he did have something like a king queen, now he's made 2 pair. So I feel like what I'm really targeting with this bet size is some sort of top pair, some sort of 5-6, or maybe some king queen, something like that, that's a bit stubborn and doesn't want to fold. I bet 130 into 282, and size down a little bit from half pot. Really, like I said, targeting those kinds of medium to marginal holdings that some people can get a little sticky with and don't really want to fold. So he tanks for a while, and he eventually makes a call. And the thing that's really interesting with this hand is the opponent to his left later said that he saw his hand, and he said he had Queen 7. So he had top pair, no kicker, no diamonds, and decided to call it down. So I think we got maximum value there on the river, and it was great to scoop this one as well. So I've been playing poker for about 10 years now, but only really seriously in probably the last 12 months. Watching loads of videos, doing lots of training, trying to improve my game. For the last maybe 5 months, I've been grinding 2.5 live cash, plan to build a bit of a bankroll, play some 5.10, as well as build a bankroll specifically for tournaments. The thing that poker is allowing me to do, so I'm actually working on a startup at the same time. It's great to be able to just pop in, play 2, 3, 4 hour session during the day, and then keep working on the things that I need to outside of that. It's really fun balance. The things that I do differently, before each session, I actually exercise, I meditate, I run out some simulations, and I try and get my mind into a space where I can really make the best decisions. I keep my sessions really short, usually no more than 3 or 4 hours. Have poker be one of those things that adds a lot of value to my life in many ways. There's a lot of things about poker that are super awesome for life. I'm really aiming to make the game a little more friendly, and I'm really hoping with this wave of vlogging that poker community does build.